Hello, good afternoon. This is Donston Wilson, and I'm here with Rick Campanelli.
Hey, Donston.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you.
My pleasure.
All right, thank
Love
you so
that
much.
shirt. Can I just say, I love that shirt?
Thank you.
Said it there. Okay, it's out there. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Okay,
to
thank
interrupt.
you. Now, what is it like working for ET Canada as one of the main hosts?
Well, you're here with ET Canada. We're all here working for ET Canada. And we all have a job to do, right? We're working for one of the biggest names in entertainment, if not the biggest name in entertainment. These people have been around for many, many years, this show. I used to watch this show as a kid growing up, you know? So to finally be working here as one of its hosts, it's a dream come true. It really is. To do what I do day in, day out with the people that I get to do it with, it's amazing. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now.
Okay, great. And also, I found out that you actually graduated from Burke University.
Yes.
And you graduated with your degree in physical education.
Physical education.
Now, you know, as I dig deeper and deeper, I'm kind of wondering, how did you transition into entertainment? Like, how did that all happen?
It was very simple. Like, yes, I'm a phys ed grad, and I loved sports. I loved athletics growing up, and I did it all the time. But at the same time, I loved entertainment. I loved movies. I loved music. I loved all that stuff. I loved it all, really. So after graduating from school, I was going to get into either doing some teaching or some physiotherapy, massage therapy. I was going to go down those roads, and I started applying to those colleges. But I won this contest in the world of entertainment, which allowed me to get a foot in the door with a television station, and that's how it all worked. Once I got my foot in the door, I ran with it because I loved what I was doing. I was introduced to this magical world of TV, which I knew nothing about. I know a little bit more these days because I've been at it for 20 years, but I knew nothing about it back then, but I just loved it so much, and it was such an exciting environment that I was in, and it's, like I said, it's been 20 years.
It just so happened.
Yeah.
You know what? I tried for that contest.
Did you?
Say Much Music last year. I tried it, but I didn't get it. So how did you make it happen for you?
Well, for me, I don't think it was as popular back in the day because when I entered the temp contest, it was 1994. You know, so people had other, dreams in life. Not everyone wanted to be on TV like they do these days. It feels like anyway, but that's great too. If that's their passion, that's all good. But I think the chances were a lot easier back then to actually go after what you wanted to. I'm speaking from personal experience. I can't speak for in any other way, but for me, it just seemed easier back then. Like I was so passionate about wanting to do that. I didn't get the job right away of going on air. It took a year and a half. So I kept, knocking down their doors and bugging them to a certain extent. I wasn't annoying, but I was just letting the people that made the decisions know that I want to do this job. I'm capable of doing this job. Let me try doing this job, and you'll see that you made a good decision. Okay.
And were you nervous at first when you get in front of the TV?
Was I ever? I still get nervous. I still get nervous because I'm a fan of film and I'm a fan of music, and so to meet these people that create these films and albums, like it's huge for me. But I remember it took me a good 8 months to settle in to the job, at my old job. I wasn't used to speaking in front of a camera. We've got several cameras here with us today. Back then, it was the same sort of deal, and it just made me nervous.
It's making me nervous right now with all these cameras right here.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
But you know what? All that goes away. Because if you know what you're talking about, and if you're passionate about what you're actually dealing with, the issues and the topics, all the nerves go away. It really does after a while. It just takes time, like anything that you do in life.
Okay. And also, what does your day look like?
Okay, so I have a new baby at home. Okay. So my days are a lot more crazy these days than they were, say, for example, before my kids started coming into the world. So it's busy all around the clock, whether I'm here at work or whether I'm at home with my family. But this job is basically like any normal job, and 9 to 5 type thing. You go to work, you do your job. So that's what happens here, and then going home. I've got 2 boys now.
Wow, that's a lot.
So it's a lot to deal with once you get home as well. So work and family life are well balanced, and it's a lot on the plate for sure.
Okay. And what keeps you going? What keeps you going, like to basically manage the 2?
Well, what keeps me going is that I love both those worlds.
Okay.
I love coming to work. I love working with everyone here. I love talking about what we talk about. And I love going home to be with my family and spend time with them and creating those moments, you know. So it's just always, you know, what's next? What's going to happen next is what also, I guess, keeps me going.
Yes, and that's important.
Yeah.
And I realize, apart from that you also volunteer with different organizations.
I do, yeah.
And I think one that really stands is the Big Brother, Big Sister program. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, but I have in the past. As you know, they have different, offices set up all over the place, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and I did a lot of work with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Oakville. But aside from that organization, you know, there's World Vision, and this organization I've been a part of, my gosh, since I can remember, like mid-90s, doing stuff with them. And these 2 organizations, as you know, they deal with, you know, mostly, you know, kids that are in tough situations. My heart goes out to children that are suffering or are put in these, you know, situations, you know, starving or, you know, living in poverty or, you know, living with parents that abuse them. So I think any one of us that hears their stories would help.
Yes, of course.
I really do. Like, I have kids, and that's why I find it like it's my duty to help not just my kids, but other kids that need help. And
I want to thank you for doing that too as well, because that's also very important.
Yeah, to you
giving
as well?
back and making sure those kids are, you know, well taken care of.
They're our future too, right? You have to take care of the kids. You know?
Okay.
Sometimes they don't have a voice, and they don't have, you know, some parents are usually not the ideal parents, so they need people to help them along the way.
Of course. And you've done a lot of interviews. You speak to a number of celebrities. Can you tell me, let's say one of your favorite interviews that you've done?
Oh, favorite? Okay, well, when it comes to music, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
So interviewing those guys, and I had the chance to interview all 4 of them at one point in my career, going back a few years now, but that was one of my all-time faves. When it comes to music-related interviews and artists, in terms of actors now, my gosh, there's been so many as well. But I sort of like interviewing the veterans in this business, like the ones that have been doing it for years. Like, I grew up watching Happy Days, so when I got a chance to interview Henry Winkler, that was a huge day for me. You know, I grew up watching Booze and Buddies with Tom Hanks, and you know, he's gone on to become this huge film star. So the day I got to interview him, it was special for me. Like, these people were a part of my life as a kid growing up, and then now I'm interviewing them. It's all surreal, but those are a couple that stand out.
Great. And also found out that you have a man crush. Can you tell me about that? What that's all about?
This guy does his work. Found out I have a man crush. I got a man crush on all men.
Okay.
No. See his face? Oh, no, well, you know, like, who doesn't want to hang out with George Clooney? You know, like, he's a good basketball player. He fights for causes around the world. He's a great actor. You know, ladies love him. He's married now, ladies, so be careful. But yeah, I guess you could say there's a man crush there. I would like to spend more time with him to get to know him a little better. In the interview setting, when it comes to actors like that, in junkets, you only get like 4 minutes. And the reason why I said that is that he seems like a down-to-earth, normal guy who I can see myself playing a game of pickup basketball with, or like, you know, hanging out with, grabbing a beer with, stuff like that. So, man crush is a little too much, but how about a good buddy, you know?
Okay.
I want to be his good buddy, but it's never going to happen.
Okay. And also for journalists like myself, I mean, for other persons who aspiring to be on TV, you know, they want to go out there and talk to celebrities as well.
This is a good start.
What advice would you give to those individuals?
Well, yeah, it's advice that I took to heart when I was in your same position. I didn't give up. I knew I wanted something, and I didn't give up, ever. Like, there was a lot of no's. There were a lot of no's in that year and a half, like, because I really wanted to be on air. And, you know, you're not ready, you know, do more of this stuff here, do more of that stuff there. And I said yes to whatever they said came along the way. Like, it's sort of like you have to climb that ladder in a way. So my executives at the time, I listened to them. I heard what they were saying, and I did what they said. And it finally paid off after a year and a half of doing all that stuff and getting on air. But the one thing is, you know, don't give up. Perseverance is what's going to get you doing what you want to do in life, and that's...
I totally agree.
Yeah, that's... I know it sounds corny, but that's...
I don't think it's corny, because hence the reason why I'm talking to you, here today.
Good.
This was always been a dream to come and do something with ET Canada. And guess what? I'm in the studio actually talking to you.
And we got to sit on the new white chairs, too.
Yeah, awesome.
How cool
it
is that?
feels very comfortable. Thank you
You
so much.
did a great job.
All right.
Donston, you did a great job.